The idea of framing is similar to setting the agenda, but it expands the research by focusing on the heart of the problem instead of just one topic. Framing theory is based on the idea that the media draw attention to specific events and then puts them in a context. Framing is an important topic because it can have a big effect. Because of this, the idea of framing has grown to include organizations. In a nutshell, framing theory says that how something is presented to the audience influences how people choose to think about it. Frames are made up ideas that help organize or structure the meaning of a message. Most of the time, frames are used to talk about how the news or other media present information. People think that they influence how people think about the news. Goffman came up with the idea first and he called it frame analysis. He said that people understand what's going on in their world based on what they know best. This framework is considered primary because the user takes it for granted. It doesn't depend on other frameworks to be useful as one. Goffman says that there are two differences between natural and social frameworks. Both help people figure out what information means so that their experiences can be understood in a larger social context. The two are different in how they work. Natural frameworks see events as physical things that happen, taking natural code literally and not attributing events to social forces. Social frameworks see events as things that happen because of the wants, goals, and tricks of other social players. The natural frameworks are what the social frameworks are built on. How data is interpreted, processed, and shared is greatly affected by these frameworks and the frames they create in our communication. Goffman's main idea is that people are able to use these frameworks in their everyday lives, whether or not they know about them. Framing techniques as per Fairhurst and Sarr, 1996. Metaphor to show how a thought works by comparing it to something else. Stories are a way to frame a topic in a way that it's vivid and easy to remember. Traditions are cultural norms that give meaning to everyday things and are closely connected to artifacts. Slogan, jargon, catchphrase to put a catchy phrase around something to make it more memorable and easy to understand. Artifacts are things that have meaning in and of themselves. They are a visual and cultural phenomenon that means more than the object itself. Contrast: to talk about something by what it is not. Spin means to present an idea in a way that makes a value judgment that might not be obvious at first. It also means to make a bias by definition. Agenda setting theory has a lot to do with framing in many ways. Both look at how the media gets people to pay attention to certain things. In this way, they set the agenda. But framing goes one step further because the way news is presented makes a frame for the news. Most of the time, journalists do this on purpose. In this case, a frame is how the media, as gatekeepers, organize and present the ideas events, and topics they cover. Framing is how a source of information defines and builds any piece of information that is communicated. Framing is a part of human communication that can't be avoided because we all bring our own frames to our conversations.